Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today I'm going to be continuing the Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas series doing Dr. Finklestein. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm going to be continuing and hopefully finishing, if not in another part series, part video, Dr. Finklestein. Where we left off is we did the face head embroidery, and I did do the arm. So today in this video, I'm going to show you how to attach the arm, and then we're going to move on to the glove, how to attach the glove, the legs, how to attach that, and then if we're lucky, we'll move on to doing the whole wheelchair. I hope that will be the case because I have a ton to move on to next. The next on my list is 0. So I will be doing 0, and then I'm going to be doing Spiral Hill. And then going back, we have lock, barrel. I probably forgot shock somewhere, right? Lock, shock, yeah, shock and barrel. So hopefully I'll be able to get all of these done. I am gifting this to my sister for her birthday at the end of this month. I may post-date the videos because just doing all these and unleashing it the same week might be a little extra. Okay, so let's get started. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, you can click on the gear button. You can change the playback speed to fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me, you can lower the volume on your phone, and then you can click on the CC button and follow along that way. I will be showing new stitches or instructions 3 times, and then thereafter I'm going to go my speed. If you can't go that fast, just rewind to where I'm showing it initially 3 times. Otherwise, it just is what it is because it's so long. These things would normally take me weeks because I can't sit there all at once and do it. This has been crazy that I've been able to do it at, days in a sitting. And that's only because I do have a full-time job. So yeah, so let's get this done. We completed the arm. You have to make 2. I'll do that off camera. Anytime we have make 2, I'm going to do that off camera. So after fastening off and leaving a tail for sewing, we have to trim 2 3-inch pieces of craft wire and insert 1 into each arm. So let me just do the one that we have now. I'm going to take my own craft wire. I'm sure you have your own because they didn't provide enough material to make all the characters. So I'm going to measure off 3 inches, and we'll give this a cut here. Okay. I'm doing 1 for now. Insert 1 into each arm. I know I said that I would tape it and I didn't do it to the others, so I think maybe I'm just going to use some stuffing. So let me just go and get some stuffing here. I'm going to try to wrap this around or put it in a ball so that it at least has like something to push into. And then we'll stick that into the arm. There needs to be a better way. Either they make their own plastic or wire forms that you can use instead so that they're not harmful. This kit's great, but they really don't keep in mind for the younger ones or just in general. Like, when I handed this over to my sister and she was looking at it, she's all happy, and I saw the wire stick out of one of the legs, and I had to warn her. I mean, I already warned her. I was like, oh, look, see, be careful. Like a mother. So, and you know what? I don't think this is gonna do anything. So, okay, then we're gonna stick this in here. All right, so it's kind of pushing in, but it's not gonna be permanent. At some point, it's gonna come out. So, all right, and insert one in each arm. No stuffing needed. Sew the arms to rounds. So I'm gonna get my tapestry needle. You should have received a tapestry needle in this kit. So I'm just gonna grab that. Don't mind the extra needles. I collect them from the other kits and I just put them in the same bag. And then I'm gonna do one of these. I'm not a sewer, so I don't know terminologies or anything like that. Okay, and then we have to sew to rounds 21 and 22 of the body. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have to sew the arm to rounds 21 and 22 of the body. How does this look like? Okay. I mean, I feel like this is a little high, but 21, 22, here we are. Okay. I'm going to start sewing his arm together to the body. Okay, I'm going to bend this wire down, I guess, a little bit. Man, I'm going to try hooking the wire, actually. I don't like that it's wanting to stick out of the body. So I kind of hooked it down, so it's actually hooking in there. So hopefully that'll be an extra safety measure. Okay, and then I'm going to take my hook just under the surface, come up where the excess yarn comes out, and we're going to drag that into the body. Right. If you still have some left, you can go back out and grab the rest of it and pull it in there. Okay. So now we have that coming along. Now we're going to do the glove. So with the black, we need to make an adjustable ring. So how to do it is you're going to grab some yarn here. We're going to wrap it twice around the finger like this. You're going to have a little bit over so that you can put your middle finger on it like that. Then we're going to go palm up. All right. And then you have these 3 strands here. So make sure you have 3 strands going across your index. Then I'm going to take this crochet hook and stick it underneath the 3 strands. Then I'm going to hook it and drag it underneath the 2 strands here. And then I'm going to do in this strand here, we're going to do a yarn over like that, just putting the yarn over. And we're going to pull this through the loop to close that adjustable ring. And so now you can remove your middle finger and remove the rings off of your index. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1. So yarn over and then pull this strand through the loop. That's our chain 1. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. Let me show you how to do a single crochet stitch. You want to stick your hook into the adjustable ring. You want to yarn over, pull up a loop. You want to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have our single crochet stitch and our chain stitch. Do this again. Stick your hook into the adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Now the problem with this right now is that the yarn is so dark you can't see any of the stitches. That's just going to be the nature of the beast because my eye is looking at the project itself and not through the camera. It's hard for me to see the stitches. So I don't think there's any kind of magic that I can do. I mean, you can kind of see it now. 1 stitch, 2, and chain stitch. Let me see if my camera doesn't go out of whack. If I'm just bringing it up to the lens and seeing if you could at least see it better. So one more time, you guys, a single crochet stitch. Put your hook into the adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So 3 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we have 6 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. What we're going to do is hold the bottom stitches with your thumb and your index gently, just enough to stabilize it, your project. Then we have 2 loops here, and we have this excess piece. So I'm going to pull the excess piece, and I'm going to watch to see which loop goes inside the adjustable ring first. Once you figure out which loop is going in first, just stop right there. So let me pull this. All right, so I saw this loop go in first. So what we want to do is make this loop disappear. So what we have to do is the loop that went in first, you want to pull out the bottom end of it, not the top end up here, the bottom end down here. So grab that loop that went in and pull that side out. Meanwhile, you're going to watch that other loop start disappearing into the adjustable ring. You want to pull it until it's entirely gone into the ring. And once it's gone, you might still have a hole left, that's okay. But what you want to do now is take the excess piece and we're going to pull that one so that then the final loop disappears into the adjustable ring as well. So let's start pulling that gently. And once that is gone, you want to take a little extra pull. I think you have a tendency to pull out. Let's pull up and over that way. That way we can pull just a little bit more. You're going to feel it in between your thumb and your index. Don't pull too much, but you're going to feel that extra pull. And that should remove the hole entirely. So this lovely dark yarn, we are just never going to see things clearly. But in a perfect world, if you don't see a hole in there, you did okay. That's all you can see. I can't even see the stitches even in real life right now. I'm looking both at the project with my eye and also looking up at the screen too, and I can't see jack. So okay, so what we're gonna do now, okay, so I'm gonna get my markers real quick. We're gonna use the markers in this part here. Okay, so this kit comes with, I think, at least 4 or 5. I've collected them. Collected these over the kits I've done for this channel actually, so I have a ton more. I highly suggest going to a hobby store or Amazon to purchasing you a packet of these, because this is a lifesaver. It helps you keep stitch count, it helps you keep round or row count, so it's really good to have, especially when you have instructions that, like for example, rounds 3 through 12. That's a lot of rounds to keep track of. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these markers now, and I know you can't see, but just make pretend you can. Or look on your project. I'm going to stick the marker into the last stitch we made, front and back loops, so it looks like a braid. We're going to slip this right underneath that, and I'm going to close this up, and this is going to indicate the last stitch of the last round that you made. So round 1. So now what we're going to do is do rounds 2 and 3. Now you can say this is going to be round 2 and this is round 3, but it's only 2 rounds. If you're really distracted today, you can use these. I'm not, it's only 2 rounds. So what we have to do next is 6 single crochet stitches. So I'll show you how to do that. You're going to want to go into, just to make sure, count back from the hook 6 stitches. So where this marker is at is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into this 6th stitch. And I know this is going to be very difficult just because the yarn is dark. So put it in the 6th stitch from the hook. We're going to do a yarn over. We're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to do a yarn over again, and we're going to slip that through 2 loops off your hook. And now we have our single crochet stitch. Now we just have to do 5 more. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, one more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so now I just have to do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. So we just have to repeat this 1 more time. I'm going to remove the marker from the first round. We are now going to stick this on top of the last stitch of the last round. And now we just do this 1 more time, 6 single crochet stitches. And if you still have a hard time seeing which stitch, which I'm having an issue with, so count 6 stitches from the hook. So where the marker is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into the last the 6th stitch from the hook. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Again, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I just have to do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now I'm going to remove the marker again. We're going to mark the top of the last stitch of the last round. Okay. So you're going to find this difficult because it's curling inside itself, and it's the wrong side showing now because we have the excess piece sticking out. So what we want to do is invert this. You want to somehow get I'm going to take my pudgy fingers and we're going to flip this inside out. I'm going to stuff that excess piece inside. So it looks like now it looks like a thumb thimble. But now we have the right side facing out, and you can tell because when you look at it, you can see the rings or the rounds, they're very definitive. So if it's nice and clear and clean, you can tell that's the right side. Plus that excess piece is no longer sticking out on this end. Okay, so now we're going to go to round 4 through 7. So that's 3, and I know it's only 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 4. That's anything more than 2. Because believe it or not, I'll lose count with 2 sometimes if I get interrupted. Okay, so for rounds 4 and 7, we have an increasing stitch, single crochet until the end of the round, and by the end of the 7th round, we'll have 10 stitches. So these types of instructions I hate, but we're doing it. So round 4, we're going to this got twisted. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to do an increasing stitch. So let me show you how to do that. I know it's hard, but try to see if you can see it. Let me double check where the 6 stitches. So count 6 stitches, starting at the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, stick your hook into the 6th stitch. Basically, an increasing stitch is putting 2 single crochet stitches in this 1 stitch that we're using right now. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to go back into that same stitch we just used. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have 2 single crochet stitches in that 1 stitch. So now we have to do the rest single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. The same thing that we've been doing before. So that's 1. We have to do 4 more. 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you should now have 7 stitches. So I want to remove this marker. Oh no, not remove it because we're doing more than 1 round, more than 2 rounds. So I'm going to take the next marker and put that on the top of the last stitch of the last round that we did. So count back, you should have 7 stitches. Let's just go ahead and do that now. Starting from the marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stick your hook into 7. Okay, we're going to do another increasing stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops using that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we're going to do single crochet stitches in each of the stitches. So let's do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So I'm going to take another marker, put it on the top stitch of the top of the last stitch made on the last round. And I will do this again one more time for you guys. Make sure that you have, what are we doing, like 8 stitches now? Count from the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put in your hook. We're going to do an increasing stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, go into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to do 7 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now we should have 9 stitches on here. I'm going to take the last marker for this instruction. We're going to put in the top of the last stitch of the last round we made. And then we're just going to make sure we have 9 stitches. So starting at the marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put in your hook. And then we're going to do this instruction one more time. So increasing stitch. And then we're going to be doing 8 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we should have 10 stitches in total. I don't have any more markers, and it looks like that's the last round. So let's just make sure that we have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it says fasten off, leaving a tail for sewing. So I'm gonna cut off a good piece here. Not sure how much I need, but to fasten off, it's just a yarn over like that, and then we're going to pull that through the loop all the way out. Then you're going to take the excess piece and we're just going to pull that till that last knot kind of tightens up. We can remove all these markers. Okay. Now, leave a tail for sewing. Insert the end of each arm into the glove and secure it with a few stitches. So take your tapestry needle, which I think is silly. They should just sew it at the end and not make it this deep. But they kind of had you like make an actual glove that you have to slip on to yarn. Slipping on yarn onto yarn is not the easiest thing. I guess if you're using cotton, it would be easier, maybe. But I have acrylic, and acrylic has so many threads upon threads here, so it's very wiry and frizzy. Oh my gosh. I hate threading. This is why I don't sew. Well, one of the reasons why. Oh my gosh, it's just not working out for me. Okay. I'm gonna go and slip on his glove. And it looks like they should tell you how far they slip it up, because they don't really slip it up too far. So I'm just gonna slip it as far as it takes me. It's gonna get stuck at some point, especially since I put that thing in there, the cotton, the stuffing. Alright, so now I'm just gonna sew this on. It looks like he has Popeye arms. I mean, I don't know really, so tie your knot how you feel like it should be tied. That's pretty much what I'm doing, so if that sounded a little vague, then it's because it was. I really don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to stick my hook under here where the excess piece comes out, and then I'm going to drag it back into this glove. Okay. So we have one glove. Okay, so now we're going to make the leg, and we're going to need our black, and we have to do our adjustable ring. So I'm going to take this again, wrap it around 2 times with a little bit of overage on the index finger. We're going to hold this down, and then we're going to palm up. I'm going to take my hook, slip it underneath the 3 strands. We're going to drag this back out and pull this under these 2. And then I'm going to yarn over. I almost did it. It's like automatic at this point. Okay. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop to close the adjustable ring. And so now we can let go of the middle finger, remove the adjustable ring off your index, and then we're going to start to do the next steps, which is the chain 1. So we're going to yarn over and chain 1, pull that through the loop, and then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches into the rings, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then 3 times more. 1, 2, and 3. So now what we're going to do is close the adjustable ring. We're going to hold the bottom stitches right here, not too tightly, because we're going to pull this excess piece. Watch to see which loop goes in first. Once you identify that, stop pulling. Okay. So once you've identified which loop is going in first, we're going to pull out from the bottom side here. So let's pull this out, and then you're going to watch the other loop disappear into the ring. You want to keep pulling that bottom side out until that other loop is completely gone. Now you might still have a little hole left. That's okay. Now we're going to pull the excess piece and make that loop disappear. And just to make sure we close that little hole, you want to pull in the opposite direction and up, and just tug it a little bit. So now that hole is completely closed. Okay? Okay, so let's continue now to the second round, and we have single crochet stitches in all 6 stitches, and then we're going to change to white. So I'm going to do the 5, and then in the 6th one I'm not going to finish it because we have to switch color, and I'll show you how I do that. So let's mark off our last stitch on top of the last round we made. Okay. Then I'm going to count 6 from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch. Now we're going to do our first single crochet stitch. 1. We have 5 more to do. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not going to finish this last one here. What I'm going to do is, well, that's smart. You could actually put a marker. I know I pull it out. I normally pull it out, but we're going to put a marker where the loop is, where the loops are. That way we can find our stitches when we come back, because we need the hook. So hook up the 2 loops on your hook, remove the hook. So now we won't lose that, but don't touch it, you know. Anything could happen. So now let's take our white and we're going to cast on with a slip knot to the hook. So what you're going to do is hold with your ring finger, pinky, and thumb the bottom end of this. You're going to take your index and middle and hold it yay apart. And then take your hook and we're going to go perpendicular to the yarn. You're going to go down, out, and around to get a little loop here, and you can go up and down with the hook. So let me show you again one more time. Maybe I can do this closer. So perpendicular to the yarn, we're going to go down, out, and around, and we have a loop. I'm going to push it down towards my thumb. I'm going to take my middle finger on this side and just put my finger where it crosses. That way I can let go of my left. I'm going to gather up a little bit of yarn here, and I'm going to go back to pinching with my thumb and my middle finger the very end of this yarn, and then I'm going to pull the hook farther down towards my thumb. Now where it crosses, I just want you to pinch where it crosses with your thumb and your middle finger so that the hook cannot slide down or up anymore. So now we're going to yarn over. So yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through the loop. And so now we have casted on our hook with the slip knot, but let's finish this off. Let's tighten the knot. So overhand your hook, okay? You're going to want to maintain your pinch on the end of that piece there. Do not let go. Then the loose knot that we have here, you want to take your thumb and your index and you want to push it towards your other hand until it cannot move anymore, because either the knot is tight or your thumb is in the way. And once you get it to that point, we're going to take the excess piece on your thumb and middle finger, and you want to pull that out from the knot, and just enough to where it's snug, the knot. You don't need to pull it like crazy, just enough till the knot's snug. So now we have our nice little snug knot here. I'm going to take my index and thumb and hold that knot. I'm going to slide this knot closer to the hook, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space, you know, like this. I'm going to remove the loop off my hook. So we have this. Don't lose it. Set it aside. Now we're going to come back. You can stick your hook where that marker is into those two loops. And then you can remove the marker. Make sure you get everything, because sometimes you can poke through your yarn. So we are back to having two loops on here. So instead of yarning over with the black, we're going to slip on the white like that, like this. And we are going to pull this through both loops on your hook like that. So now we've done a nice transition from black to white. So what we're going to do now is remove the marker and put it on the last stitch, on top of the last stitch that you made for the last round. And we're going to move on to rounds 3 through 12. So if this is 3, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you want to double check that count. I have this extra one here. I don't know if that was there or not. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we have 12 markers. Again, invest in these. They're a lifesaver. And we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches in all stitches for each round. and fasten off. So let me do this in silence, and I'll come back to show you guys how to fasten it off, and then hopefully we'll have time for the wheelchair seat and frame. These, I thought Sally was hard. I'm not liking this one because there's other materials we're going to use that I'm not familiar with. This whole book, I'm not going to lie, is a nightmare. So, you know, smash that like button if you are getting this done. Comment below your take on this booklet. I mean, it could be fun, it could be, but it could also be stressful. I'm really just kind of, you know, getting over this. This is a little much. I was really not looking forward to this. All right, let's do this in silence. Oh, before I continue, I forgot this piece. We won't be using black again, so I'm gonna have to cut this off, which kind of sucks because I just put all that yarn. Let's cut this off and I'll show you how I'm gonna tie it together. Okay, so we're just gonna cut like 1.5 inches or so. You don't need much off the black, and I'm just going to, since it's so close to the the original excess piece, I'm just gonna tie a knot twice so that we make sure that the stitches don't unravel, just in case. You don't have to tie it super tight, just snug again. Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to go back to doing the rest in silence. Okay, so I forgot to flip this inside out that you saw that we've been doing for all the other body parts. I just removed all those. It's easy to flip it with 1 or 2 markers, but I had like, what, 4 or 5 on there, and it's so skinny that there was no way it was going to flip. So I just removed them, kept the ones that I had left here, flipped it inside out, and then just continued on my merry way. So we have all 12 rows or rounds completed. I'm going to cut this off, and we're going to fasten this off. And again, how to do this is you just yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop all the way out. We're going to tighten up that knot, and then we are done with the leg. So what it says is fasten off, leaving the tail for sewing. Trim 2 3-inch pieces of craft wire, and insert 1 into each leg. Sew the legs to the inside of the white coat. Okay, so here I have my craft wire. I'm going to take my measuring tape, and we're going to measure out 3 inches. Okay, about here. Take the scissor, and we're going to cut that piece. Okay. So, like we did with the arm, I'm going to roll this up into a ball and then squish this guy down in there. I mean, this is absurd, right? I mean, they don't expect you to put this down there, but they do with the wire. But again, they need to develop something good so that there is no hazardous opportunity for the recipient or yourself to hurt yourself with the wire. So, and I'm just trying to maneuver this down into the foot. Maybe I should have thought ahead. But once you get this down there, or however you want to do it, you could also try, I don't know if I mentioned this already, using a glue gun, or if you're into resin or anything, if you're a nail enthusiast like myself, you can dip the ends of the wire into resin, you know, like a poly gel or builder gel, and then you can cure that so that you have the ends blunted. Permanently, I don't know, because anything, if you did any of that on here, I don't know much about resin, but I think with poly gel and hard gel and stuff, it might slip off because this is such a smooth surface. You might want to rough it up or something. But here is the leg. I'm going to stick in this wire now. I'm going to get my tapestry needle, thread my eyelet hole, and this is, again, this is the worst. This is the worst. I get it. These things are just so cute to do, and they're, you know, their characters are good, and they created the instructions to make it look like them. I get it. It's just, this is not for beginners. And this is definitely not for people that lose their patience. Like, I can only do, like, the quick small amigurumi kits. That's fine. This has been, these are large. You're definitely getting your money's worth because they are large, but geez, help me out here. This is too much. And they're so big. Okay. Sew the legs to the inside of the white coat. Okay, so these are just going to be flapping in the wind here. And you want to try to put it to where, like, it looks normal, but I don't even know if that's a possibility. So we're just going to stick this in here. It'll help, though, if you keep track of the row that you put them in so that you can make it even on the other side. Okay. And we're just going to sew this up. But for everyone viewing this video, thank you so much for joining me here now. I know this is a very long and enduring process. I commend you. If you are here doing this with me, or if you're just sitting there watching me struggle, I thank you so much. And, you know, 1,000 apologies if my videos, especially when they're part videos, if it comes out so slow and you know, spread apart. I am just, the holidays and with work, it's just really hard now to get everything. I even contemplated whether, not that it would change my schedule, but if I separated the crochet stuff from the nail stuff, maybe, you know, at least you don't have to like see a video pop up and think that it's going to be crochet or nail and then it's not. So it's just, it's really tough. And I really want to be able to help you guys. I get such positive feedback on doing these for you guys, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something good with my talent, because it's just, you know, it's just here, sitting at home, making a million scarves until I stopped. But yeah, it's always good to do good with your talent. You know, this world is blessed with a lot that it should be shared and celebrated. So whoever you're making this to, again, I commend you, but they should be so grateful, so appreciative, because this is painstaking work, whether or not you think you have the talent. I mean, if you complete it, if you even get halfway through, that's the talent right there. So I put it on this side. I guess I'll do the other one off camera and sew the other one in there, but this is what it looks like. He's going to be sitting anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I have a feeling I'm going to lose the wire. I already lost it. It's somewhere up here. It's just insanity. The construction of this is just not well thought out. So this is a nightmare after Christmas for me. Okay. So now we're into, you can stop here and pause and make your second leg. If not, let's move on to the wheelchair seat and frame. So we're now going to use the gray yarn that I've got here. And we are going to do another cast on your hook with the slip knot. So again, we're going to do the pinky and ring and thumb and hold the end. Then we're going to take the index and middle and hold it yay apart. We're going to take the hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around so that you get this to slide up and down the yarn. Then I'm going to get down towards my thumb. I'm going to take my middle finger on this hand and place it right here where it crosses, because I'm going to let go, gather up some yarn a little bit. Then I'm going to pinch this end here, and then I'm going to pull the hook towards that pinch where the thumb and middle finger are. And once I get down to the thumb, I'm going to pinch with my thumb and middle finger where it crosses, so that now the hook is stabilized. You can't slide it up and down. I'm going to do a yarn over, and we are going to pull this through that loop like that. So now I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to let go of my pinch. I am going to pinch the very end of this yarn here, and with my other hand, my thumb and my index, I'm going to push the knot towards my other hand. So push this down until the knot won't go any further. So once you get to that point, you can take this thumb and this middle finger and pull out that excess piece just to tighten up that knot just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the knot, let go of my left hand there. We're going to slide the knot up towards the hook, but you want to leave a little bit of room. Okay. So now we're going to start this guy. Wheelchair seat and frame. Row 1. With gray, chain 13, skip the first chain from hook and do 12 single crochet stitches and turn. So we're going to do chains now, which is fairly easy. This is where I shine. No, I like these better. So yarn over, pull that through the loop. That's 1 chain. We're going to yarn over, pull through the loop. That's 2 chains. See, it's creating a nice braid. Okay. One more time with you guys. Yarn over, pull through the loop. We have 3 chains. And let me take the time to turn it sideways so you can see the profile. You now see the loops towards the right, and then these little back loops towards the left. And I wanted to show you this because I'm going to show you something else on the next round, when we do the next part of this round. So we have 3 down. We just have to do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm holding very firmly with my thumb and middle to stabilize this part here and pulling down actually while I'm doing stitching. Makes it a lot easier to stretch out your stitch and see how big you're making them. Over time they'll look uniform. If you're a beginner, they're going to be all over the place because that's how I did. If you hadn't, then great job. Again, let's turn this to the side. You can see that the front loops, or the braided loops, are on the left. I mean the right, and then on the left we have the back loops. Just showing that for the next stuff. I lost count now, so you can count back from the hook. 3, 6, 8. So we need 13. So we're going to be doing 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it gets too far like this, you can creep up your thumb and your middle finger higher so that there's better tension when you're making these stitches. Okay, so now we have to skip the first chain from the hook. So this is the first chain. You see how we have this nice beautiful braid. Even if you did different sizes because you're a beginner, then that's fine. You can still see the braid. It might not be this even, but it's still a braid. So we have to skip the first one. That would be this one right here, not the one on the hook, the stitch after the hook. So this stitch right here. Now, normally you just put your hook into the top loop. So these are rows, so it's from left to right, right to left, however you want to say it, but it'd be like this. So we would put the hook, we'd skip this first stitch, and we put our hook on the top loop of that braid to create our single crochet stitch. That's the normal way to do it, and you can do it that way, no problem. Just ignore me. What I like to do, because I showed you that side profile, you have your braided loops. Now you see it this way, it's on the bottom, and then those little humps are in the top. I use those humps because then I can retain my braid underside of it. So same way, if you do it my way, you just skip the first stitch and then into the next one. Rather than put it on the top loop here of the braid, I'm going to turn it on its side and put it in the hump. And if you want to see the back, so it was turned to the side, here's it looking at the back, and you can see a single line of all these stitches, these back loops. I'm using those because when we flip it again, I am not messing at all with the braid. The braid is intact and it looks nice, because you never know if this edge is going to be exposed. So if it is, you have this nice auto finished border without having to do it. I already read ahead, so they're going to make you do a border anyway. But I'm finicky. So this is how I've always done it, no matter what the project is. Okay, so now we stuck our hook into that second chain from the hook. We are going to do a single crochet stitch, and all that is what we've been doing this whole time, is the yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. That skip chain we did in the beginning, that is that chain 1 for the height. So if you wonder why they have you skip 1, that's what that is. Okay, so again, into the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet stitch. This is the braid. You can always put it at the top loop of the braid. If you do it my way, you just put it in the back loop of that stitch. So stick your hook into the next stitch, whichever way you do it. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches and we have our braid still intact. Okay, one more time with you guys. So again, if you're doing on the braid top loop, or if you're doing it my way, just flip it to its side, put it in the back hump there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3. So let us do the remaining 9 and then we'll continue on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, and 9. And when we do the last one, you have your little excess piece here. I'm going to just hold it down over this hook, and then I'm going to try to put the yarn here right over it for my yarn over, and then we're going to pull this through the loop. So that's going to entrap the excess piece, hopefully. Then yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's how I hide my excess piece. So that takes a bit to make look nice. It took me, in the beginning I was never doing that. I had this long tail that I would have to weave in and out or cut, but it still looked, you know, frayed and sticking out. So that takes time to kind of learn, but this is the first row. This is how I use the back loop situation here. So now we have a nice braid at the bottom and a nice braid on the top. Okay, and then you turn, which is just turning it. Because when you do rows instead of rounds, you want a horizontal strip and you want your stitches to be on the left. So if you have started your row, stitches should be on the left, stitches ready for you to crochet or what have you. And then if your stitches end up being on the right, like we just did when I did finished the last stitch, that means you just finished a round. So, okay. So now that we have that done, we turn it. Let's see what else it's going to say. We're gonna, for round 2, chain 1, do 12 single crochet stitches. Ooh, and then we're changing right away to black. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, let me grab some yarn here. We're gonna do our chain 1. And then we'll do our 12 single crochet stitches. So where you see there's the chain 1, we're going to go into that same stitch and we're going to do our single crochet stitch. That's 1, and we're going to do 11 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So now for the 11th one, and it's actually 12 because we did do that first one, the first single crochet stitch in the beginning. So, but on this next stitch, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, don't finish it. We are going to cast on the black. So, all right, you can put the marker like we did before. I'm getting a little lazy. I'm just going to scoot this down. If you're not comfortable with that, you can take your marker, slip it through the 2 loops, and then you can remove it off your hook entirely. But we are going to be doing our little cast on using the slip knot. So again, down, out, and around. If you need to go back in the video, we did do this a few times already, but it's the same process. I'm just doing it without the step-by-step. Okay. And this is how I do it every time. Okay, so are we gonna end up going? Yeah, we're gonna switch, let's see. Black, 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 turn to gray. Okay, it seems like we're going to be doing 4 rows before we go back to gray. So I would suggest cutting this off. Not like we did with well, no, not like other projects that I've done, but when we use this again, rather than cutting it off, we'll just crochet it in the project. But since both sides are visible, there's no real way to hide it without seeing it. So we are going to be cutting this off. And I'm going to do this pull through we're going to pull the black yarn through the 2 loops like that. Now before we move on to the next row, I'm just going to tie this really lightly once, because I'm going to show you how to hide it. You just need something to anchor so that it's not just stitches alone. Keeping this in place. So now we can turn. So again, you want your project to be on the left side to start the new row. Okay, so for row 3, we're doing a interesting. I think they gave up and they just put 1. This is supposed to be a chain one. They just put number 1, but it's usually a chain that you do. And then we're going to do 12 single crochet stitches, but we're only going to work the back loop only this time. And then we're going to turn. So we are here. Let's do our chain 1. If you can, try to tuck in that black excess piece. We're going to try crocheting everything in itself. So do your chain 1. Now in the same stitch, it might get a little muddy. You probably can't see it because we've got the black excess and we have the gray excess. Put your hook into that same stitch we did the chain 1. Okay. Now to hide the black, if you have a long strand and the gray, we are going to lay it alongside the stitches. This is how you're going to be able to hide them, right? So we have our hook in here. We have our excess piece just chilling along the stitches. We're going to stitch it inside each stitch we create. So we're going to hide this excess piece. I could probably cut this a little shorter because it's getting close, extending out there. But anyway, we're going to do our single crochet stitch like we always do. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. Oh shoot, dang, sorry, undo that. Back loop only. All right, that might cause an issue. So for back loop only, let me explain. Sorry, you guys. All right, so we have this braid here of the stitches. Like I explained in the very beginning making this, when you lay it like this, this will be now like the back loop, and the one facing you will be the front loop. So what we're using are the back loops. So where you see these braids, we're just going to be putting in it's the back loop only. So just that one loop, not the other one together. Okay, so that changes things up because our excess pieces are in the front. What you could do is, I'm going to pull this out a little bit so I can remove my hook. I'm going to stick it into that stitch we just made. And I'm going to hook the excess piece along with the black piece. It's kind of short, so I don't know how much of it if it's gonna even work. But pull both of that, oops, through this this stitch here and pull it all the way out. That way now it's on the outside. So see, it's no longer a problem in front. It's now in the back. So put your hook back into that loop. Now I'm going to show you how to do back loop only. I just read it and I didn't even do it. So let me show you. Stick your hook into that same stitch we did the chain stitch, like I said before. Stick your hook in there. You want to make sure you have that gray excess piece and the black if you can. This is so short, so you might have a little spot of black. That's okay. We're going to lay this now over the hook. You want to make sure that that excess piece is over the hook and is alongside all the other stitches, like I was saying before. This time it's just in the back. So go about your normal single crochet stitch process. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have our first single crochet stitch. Again, we're going to stick the hook into the back loop only, like that. Make sure that gray excess piece is chilling over the hook like this. We're gonna yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Okay, one more time with you guys. So into the back loop only, right here. You want to lay the excess piece over your hook like that. We're going to do our single crochet stitch. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches. We are hiding that gray piece. There is a little nubby because I cut that real short. What works for amigurumi, I guess, doesn't really work for straight rows, but we're just going to work this out. So now we just have to do this 9 more times. But see how we're crocheting this excess piece into the project? That's what you have to keep doing to hide the excess pieces. You can do this whether it's amigurumi or a straight row crochet. So it's a great way of hiding your pieces when you change colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you should have 12 single crochet stitches altogether. I didn't cut it. I guess I should cut it. There's still a good amount sticking out. So if this is your case, just cut the excess piece. If not, just bear with me. We'll move on to the next round. Okay. Okay, so now for rows 3 through 12. So this is where you would need markers. So rows 4 through 6. You still need markers. I was reading up here. Whoa, I probably like, what? 12? All right, 4 through 6, 4, 5, and 6. So let's see. I would say, well, yeah, we'll put it at the last stitch, on top of the last stitch we made. Front and back loops. Same thing that we did with the amigurumi type instructions. So we're going to do chain 1, 12 single crochet stitches in turn, and then we're going to eventually change to gray. So because it doesn't say BL only, we're going to be doing both loops, not just back loop. So we have our turn. We're going to do our chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch in the first stitch where the marker is. And then we're going to do 11 more. Then we're going to put our next marker. So this is 4, 5, oops, into that same first stitch. Ah. and apologies. This is a dark color yarn, so it's going to be really hard, like I said, to see what I'm doing, and I'm sure it's still hard to see what you're doing because I'm having a hard time seeing what I'm doing. I'm just going by feel and a little bit of looking. I mean, a lot of looking, but not that it's that helpful because the yarn's so dark. Okay, so one more time. Chain one, stitch, single crochet in the same stitch as we did the chain one. I'm actually doing the straight row. I started out learning, and that's the thing too. I think it's great if you have an amigurumi beginner kit, if you are a beginner. I honestly think that you should find, if there are any kits or maybe just how-to books to do straight row, because it's like when you learn how to write in cursive. They don't do that anymore. So maybe you learn in print, you start with the first letter and you write it over and over again. That's kind of like what straight row was for me. So I would recommend, if you're just starting out, to find kits like that, but I like it. So I'm looking forward to doing that Spiral Hill one. I think that's going to be really nice. Because for me personally, I don't do pictures, and I'd probably go as far as do different stitches, like cable stitches, stuff like that, like something crazy. But doing pictures in a straight row, that's a little intimidating to me. Okay, so we have our 4 through 6. Oh shoot, I'm going to change the gray. Sorry. In our last stitch, you can just undo the whole stitch, or you can just undo the last yarn over and pull through 2. So whichever one works for you. I was talking, that's my fault. Okay, we're going to switch to gray. So again, lazy me, I'm just going to cast this on with the slip knot. So I'm going to do it the same way I've been doing it, and I'm overhanding it this time, so I feel like a barbarian. I don't know. Not saying that's, just feel like it feels weird when you're so used to doing it one way. Like if I were to switch hands right now, even though I'm a lefty, it would feel tons of weird because it's been such a long while since I've done lefty. So maybe barbaric is not the word. Uncomfortable, how about that? I feel uncomfortable. Okay. So we are going to switch to gray. And it looks like it does this every now and then. Oops. So we are going to pull this through the 2 loops instead of what I did earlier. Okay. And then like we did with the, yeah, because now we're doing 7 to 17. It just went from one to another extreme. So we're going to cut this off. Cut it shorter this time. Tie it once around your gray to secure any of the stitching. All right, is this a back loop only? No. So now we can just leave this here. We don't have to fish it through the other side. But we're turning this now. And it's going to be stitches we can see. So let's see, what is the instruction? We have 7 through 17, chain 1 and do 12 single crochet stitches. So this is going to be very straightforward. Let me just count my markers now. I guess you can remove these. These are going to confuse me. I forgot about them. 1, 2, or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so I have my 17 markers. Okay, so I'm going to be doing rows 7 through 17 in silence, and then we'll hop back in. We've got a ways to go, so hopefully, I don't even know how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to get to, I think 37. Yeah, I'm going to go till 37, then we'll do another part video, because I already know this is going to be long. Okay, so we have all these rounds. I totally forgot to mark the first round that I did, so you saw me, I put that on there after I completed the next round. But anyway, so we're going to move on to round 18. We're going to chain 1, do 12 single crochet stitches in back loop only, and then turn. So we won't need, I'm going to eventually remove these because the instructions after that is another long one. So let's turn this. We're going to do our chain 1, and then I'll show you again 3 times the back. So we're going to stick our hook into that same stitch that we did the chain stitch, but we're going to do back loop only. And Dexter has jumped on my back during this back loop only. Okay, so we have our first single crochet stitch. Then we're going to stick our hook into the next stitch over, back loop only, and do our single crochet stitch. One more time, back loop only, stick your hook in there, do your single crochet stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So we have our 9. In case you're wondering, this is what it looks like. Sometimes this is done for aesthetic purposes, but it's usually done for functional purposes. So if you notice, you can bend this easy. This is stiff as a board until you wash it, but you can bend this easy and it makes a crease. It has that line there, and when you flip it over, it has a crease on this side. Now for this side that we did back loop only, you see the line. So if I were to bend this, it easily bends. If you were to bend this here, it really doesn't do anything, and it doesn't hold its shape. So that's why we do back loop only sometimes. And we did it on his coat so that the coat can bend inside like that. Okay, so we are going to be doing rounds 19 through 28. Let me just remove these and count them as I go. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. This is out. Now, I'm not going to forget to mark our last. This is going to mark the 19th row that we're going to do next. Front and back loops. So now for rows 19 through 28, we're going to do chain 1, 12 single crochet stitches, turn, and then we're going to change to black. So, yeah, this is a lot. Okay, so I didn't finish the last one because did you hear that? We are going to change to black. So I'm going to cast on. I'm going to do it the lazy way. So lazy that I cut a few steps to get this slip knot on here. If you need to check it out again, just rewind to the, I think I did it 4 times, I think, so far. But, all right. So we are going to pull this through, finishing that up. So I'm just gonna cut this off. Oh, my scissor, hold on. Oh, sorry, had to get my scissor. I just clipped that. Like we've done before, I'm gonna tie a knot, a loose knot, just to get it around some anchor. And then, are we gonna be doing any back loops or anything? Yes, we are. So, okay. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. We're going to do back loops when we turn this over. So like we did before, because we want to... Oh, but it's not black. I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because black is so dominant. But we're going to match it with the black. Or, I mean the gray. Okay, so let's just continue on to round 29. I'm getting a little flustered because my... little kitty Dexter again. I was telling you, he's always trying to get me to stop filming. Stop it, buddy. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Here he is. Nipping at my sleeves. Trying to tell me to stop filming. I get it. Want to show your pawsies? Here's your pawsies. You're going to crochet for me? Okay. All right. No more, buddy. I have to finish this. I only have a lunch break to do so much. All right, sorry guys, but this is the story of my life. He hates it when Mama works, but Mama's got to work. Okay. So for row 29, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 12 single crochet stitches, but back loop only. We've done this already, so let's chain 1. We're going to do our first single crochet stitch in whatchamacallit, in the back loop only. So we are going to stick our hook into the back loop, and we're going to put our excess piece over the hook like we did last time, because we're going to crochet that in to hide the excess piece. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and pull through 2 loops. And we just got to do this 11 more times, back loop only. Okay. And just to let you know, we are using new materials that we haven't used yet for any of the characters that I've made so far. And that kind of shocked me a little bit. In between the videos, I actually ordered on Amazon some threading wire. I didn't even know what the heck that was. So I think I got what I needed. So you're going to need wire threading, they say. And you're going to need thick cardboard. I'm going to use, I guess, one of the Amazon boxes I have. I'm sure there's like thicker cardboard out there, but I'm just going to use what I have. I'm not going to go buy thick cardboard. That's crazy. I believe that's it. Other than the wire, because at this point you probably ran out of all of it. Okay, so this is the last single crochet stitch. Okay, got it. You can cut the remaining piece that you have left of the gray, if you have that. Okay. Complete the last single crochet stitch. We're going to turn. And now we have 13 30 to 35. Oh wow, I moved on. I didn't even remove these. I'm looking for my markers. So get your 5 pieces of markers. If you don't have 5, you're going to have to rotate your markers, but you have to have a system somehow. I know 5 is not the greatest number. Or is it 5? 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, 6. So if you don't have that many, you can do 1 marker every 2 rows or every 3 rows. And if you haven't went to get the extra markers somewhere yet. Okay. So for round 30 to 35, we're going to chain 1, do 12 single crochet stitches, turn and change back to gray. We're going back to front and back loops, so we're not doing the back loop only. We're doing, when it doesn't say BL, don't do BL, pretty much. Okay. Let me put a marker. I didn't put a marker. And because we're back to black, it's going to be hard to see. So I'm going to do this in silence. Okay, so I finished the 35th round and I forgot we were changing to gray. So, you know, when you do these things and you're in the zone, you're not even thinking. So I'm just going to take out one stitch so I can have my 2 loops again for my last single crochet. So that's the joy of crocheting. You can always undo your work. Sometimes you don't even mean to undo it and then it's devastating. So it's not a joy, but for the most part it is. Okay. So I'm going to get my gray and we are going to cast on again with our hook. And the more you do this, the more you struggle. Don't worry, you're going to get better and better at it. Sometimes it takes a while. And mind you, I've been doing this since I was in 3rd or 4th grade. Okay, so, you know, I'm only as good because I've been doing this for decades. Sadly. But it's true. So, we're going to pull that through. I am going to cut this black off. We're going to tie it up, 1 knot, a loose knot. Okay, so this video is long already, so we're going to finish the wheelchair seat. And the rest will be in another video. This is so, again, I am going to be trying to do all the characters and then I'm going to mark the videos. So if you're waiting for one, please leave it in the comments. Like I said, I have, what do I have next after this? I have 0. I have the Spiral Hill. I have, Shock, Lock, and Barrel. Not necessarily in that order. And then I don't even know if there's other ones you want to see, comment below. I have till the end of January. So even though I'm postmarking this, I'll take comments up till the end of January because I do have a lot more kits to get through. And then I'll pick this back up next Christmas or Halloween, depending which one. Okay, so for round 36, we're doing chain 1, a single crochet stitch 12 times, and then turn. For the most part, this is easy. So I'm glad. This is like the stuff I like. The amigurumi definitely took me for a ride when I was learning. But it's now, you know, fish out of water. No, fish in water with amigurumi. But simple row stuff, that's a cakewalk. And now I want cake. While I have you here, guys, I wanted to remind you that I am running my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I will be honest with you, about a year ago, I lost my grandmother, and in that new year, I also hit 1,000. So I had a high and a low at the same time. I didn't, kind of glazed. I didn't really, you know, do much about it. I did do a giveaway and that was that, but this year also, ending the year, I had another loss, and that one I'm going to keep to myself. But I also hit 2,000. And so again, it just, I didn't expect it to be that quick. And so I didn't really celebrate it, but I am doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. There will be 2 winners, and it's open internationally. One winner is going to be for a nail viewer. I think I know most of them, but you can call it out if you want. And then the other winner will be for crafts. So I'm not just giving away nail stuff. I'm going to be giving away craft stuff. And then whoever's the winner will let me know what they want. So, rules are in the live with the thumbnail giveaway. I think in this live, you know what? I think I'm going to revamp my, no, maybe not. But the rules are in the live, and so you can go back and look for that. But I'm accepting entries till the end of the month. I'll call it out the first week of the month. And then it's going to be in every video, is all I have to say. You'll know when you know. So if you've watched the videos, you know, from start to finish, you'll see something a few times, and then you'll probably figure it out at some point. But anyway, row 37, chain 1, 12 single crochet stitches, and turn. I just wanted to say that so I'm not just sitting here talking. I know I've had a comment recently about how I talk too much. Listen, I am here to help you, but content creators are different. There are content creators that are just about getting you to watch to make the money. And when I started my channel, and now I'm going to talk because, you know, and when I started my channel, I did it because it was the pandemic, of course, and I felt alone. So I needed it as an outlet. And, you know, come 4 or 5 years later, it's the same. I haven't changed. I love the and appreciate the support, but I've grown such an amazing YouTube family. I work remote. I don't go out as much anymore because I'm far from my friends and family. So without shame, I say loud and proud that I am so happy with my YouTube family. I've made some great relationships, and that'll never change, and I hope to grow that with you guys. So, you know, I love to leave my personal stuff here. It makes me. I'm the content creator, and I do what I do. So, you know, it's all in good intention, but I get some people's comments, and it's quite understandable. But, you know, I'm just going to do what I do, and hopefully I can help somebody out there. But anyway, continue making a single crochet border along the side of the piece. 1 single crochet in each row end. Carry the wire thread inside the stitches. See page 14. This will be used to shape the wheelchair. Use pliers to fold a small piece of wire on both sides to secure it. Join the gray yarn on the other long side and repeat. Fold the body of the wheelchair following the rounds with the back loop only stitches. The thin black stripe is top of the chair. The thicker black stripe is the footrest. Okay, this is a lot. I'm telling you. I thought Sally was hard. Sally was hard, but this is just tedious, this one. So I'm not too happy about this. So the way that it says how you're crocheting the wire thread, that's just what we did to hide the gray, in case you're wondering. But I believe that this video let's see. Okay, let's just do it real quick. Let's do as much as I can. Again, I do this during my lunchtime. That's why it's been such fast-moving videos for you. That was sarcasm. Here is my craft wire. This is a 26 gauge. I think the thinnest you can go is 28 or 30. But anyway, I'm using this. It's very flexible and very bendable. But I'm going to just measure it out. Make sure you have just a little bit over, because, or however over, because you want to make sure you cover the width of this. So we're going to do a single crochet border, 1 in each end. And then we have to carry the wire thread inside the stitches. So I will show you that real quick. This thing is now getting in my way. Let's move this. Let's get this guy here. And again with these wires. Oh shoot, remove the markers. Okay. One thing we will be in concern is the ends of the wires. You know, I don't like them. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to, let's see, maybe we can make like a little twisty loop around this. So you see this guy here, I'm going to wrap a little bit of wire over it and bend it down like a little hook, right? And I'm going to twist it to where it becomes a string, like a threaded string. And if you have the pliers, which I am too lazy to get right now, use the wires. They have like it's a beveled plier. It'll have a grip on your wire here, and you can use it to twist it into like a thread, right? So now it's kind of stuck there of sorts, you know. Okay, let me see. We're going to lay this alongside your project. Okay, so now we're going to do single crochet stitches. I know it doesn't say chain. Oh, fine, let's just do the single crochet stitch. So one in each row. You see this stitch here? I'm just going to divide it. Each stitch has like a V looking type situation. Put it in the middle. That way you get 2 loops on each side. Do you see that? Try to do that. I don't know. It doesn't really tell you. But I know you want at least 2 loops anytime you do a stitch, unless it tells you back loop only, front loop only, because I feel like the grip on it is tighter than having grip on one loop. You could, you know, rip it off or something. I don't know. Hulk out. Okay, so put your hook into that middle of the V stitch. So this is one stitch. Put it in the middle. When you come out the other side, try to go back out that stitch as well, so you get 2 loops. Lay your wire right on the edge of your piece like this. My hands are small and chunky. Okay, like that. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, the single crochet stitch. Now we're doing 1 per row, so keep doing the same thing into that V that you see here. See the V? Go in there, and then on the other side too, you want to come out the middle so you have 2 strands on your hook. Lay the wire right on top, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Okay, next row, we're into the black now. In between the stitching, it's black, so you're not going to be able to see it as easy, but put it in the middle of that stitch. Make sure it's the same on the other side, so you have 2 loops onto your hook. Lay the wire across, and then pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up another loop. All right, so I'm going to continue this out until we reach the end. Obviously, you have to do the other side, but I think I might have time for the other side. I'm not sure. At least, yeah, we might have to bend this in another video. I wish I had more time in my day. It's really tough. It's really tough doing this. YouTube is pretty much a full-time job. I know that we see these videos and most of them look flawless and look fun and carefree, but someone out there like myself is crying in the edit studio or after filming crying because this thing is a doozy. It's a lot of work. Before my hubby started his channel, like, he didn't understand it himself, and he would always ask me, why do I spend so much time on this, you know? So, and now he does it himself, so he gets why it takes time. So if you'd like to follow him, by the way, he has a sports channel. Right now he's doing trading cards. I feature his channel on my YouTube page. So if you go to featured channels, you'll see DJ K Sports. He recently had a giveaway. So if you know anybody that likes trading cards, sports trading cards, let them know, share the channel. And then, of course, if you know anybody that likes nails or crochet, you could share my channel. So, we're hard workers over here. That's children outside, sorry. You know, it's hobbies that we like to do and we share with everyone. This is an accident. Like, I do this on my own. I have an Etsy page, and like I said in my previous videos, my best friend needed help with some Dollar Tree kits, and that's how this whole thing started. So I'm really happy with how it evolved, because I do like to help. I'm not a teacher, but I do like to help, because I honestly don't think I'm great at explaining things, you know, but I get how hard this stuff is, because when I was learning, I didn't get like, it's like not in my nature to get like too frustrated like that, but like I'd make something and I would feel so so not with it. I would make fun of myself, because some of this stuff would be like, what the heck? Like, I wasn't making table runners, I was making skirts. So it's just like I just couldn't do things right sometimes. So I know the feeling. So, and of course, if you ask for help, I'll always try to help. So when my best friend asked me to help her, I just had to, you know, so, and here I am. And it's a win-win, because, like I said, my sister loves this movie, so I already gave her the first set of characters, and she loved it, so she's gonna love this next set that I'm gonna give her. Okay, we are nearing the end. I can feel the stiffness of the wire, and I was very skeptical about it, because it's a 26 gauge wire, and I was like, there's just no way this is going to be stable enough. But I feel it as I'm crocheting this inside itself, and it's feeling stiffer. I can't wait to put this all together and see the chair actually hold up Dr. Finklestein. Okay, I didn't think this far. I would say do the same thing I did on this side and then tuck it in, but I didn't think that far. I only have one row left. So I'm going to cut this shorter, because we are done with that. I'm going to wrap it around. Maybe that's what I should do. Like, an ideal world, if I was thinking about it, like, make another thread again and crochet it. I mean, I could always, maybe that's what I should do. Let me undo, let me undo 3 stitches for you guys. Okay. All right, so now I hooked it onto the gray yarn. I'm gonna twist it, or at least manually try to twist it around. Well, that's not gonna work. Not around the yarn. Let's twist it around itself. Okay, so I'm doing a little twist here. And again, if you have a plier, it'll be much easier and cleaner. But we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna go back to crocheting my single crochet stitches, and this is actually shorter than what it's going to be. Maybe not. I'll see if I can pull it. But maybe that's okay. So I'm in the last 2 rows. What I'm going to do is stick my hook into the second to the last row, because that's the next one I'm working with. And then I'm going to try to open up that little loop by putting the head of my hook in there, and I'm going to try to crochet through the loop. So you see that we made a twisty. I made the loop bigger at that end so I can fit my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the wire, the stitch, and the loop, the last loop on my hook, to seal it in. I think that works best, actually. and then last stitch, single crochet, and then we're done. Funny thing is, it doesn't say to fasten off and stuff, but I think it means to single crochet stitch all around. Let me read that. It just says each row end. Continue making a single, well, okay, so it says continue making a single crochet stitch border alongside of the piece. And I know a border is alongside the piece, but a border completes the whole thing. So I think you just do single crochet stitches all the way around. That would be easier to do, actually, as opposed to cutting it and then starting on the other side from scratch. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So I would just do that. It doesn't tell you how to do the border. So in this next, so now we're on the underside where we did that beautiful braid in the beginning. Now we're going to cover it. You could leave it as is and just start on the other side. I don't care. I'm just going to go straight across so I don't have to cut anything. So less knots in your project. I'm going to pull my hook into the first stitch of that edge there. And I'm going to do 3 single crochet stitches. This is going to make a round corner, or at least have you make a corner. I know it didn't say that, but look, you just made a corner. And that's kind of how most crochet instructions tell you to do when you're doing corners. You put 3 stitches in one hole. Okay, so then we're just going to move on to each stitch thereafter and do our single crochet stitch to get to the other side. So let's do that. Okay, and then obviously at the other corner we're going to do 3 stitches. So let's do that. When you hit that other end, do 3 stitches, and then we're going to do again what we did on the other side. We're going to lay a wire, we're going to twist it, but I think that's going to be in another video. So you at least have the one, so you can work on that. You could always rewind and go back so that you can get to the other side. But I have to leave this here because the video is already long. So this is what we're working with so far. This is going to be the bottom. This is going to be the top. I think we're going to be folding where the back loop onlys are, like I showed you before, how it makes that kind of automatic bend. This is going to look good. It's looking good so far. And he's just going to plop himself in the middle. So it's going to be great. All right. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I apologize. This is dragging out. This is like probably the hardest for me, and it's been a struggle. So I hope I'm not the only one. But thank you so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.